Hi, guys. We are back with The End of the Twisted Throne by Danielle L. Jensen. We read from chapters 33 to the end. I'm just going to pause just for a moment. If you have not read the end of this book, leave. Sometimes I say, like, oh, if you're like one of those people that just really enjoys spoilers and you want to stick around for this, feel free. No, I mean, like, genuinely go. Leave right now. Because the end of this book, I'm probably forgetting, but I right now cannot recall an end of a book in my recent past where so many times I was like, what's happening? I'm sorry, what now? Oh, that was a cool last twist. That wasn't the last, like, a lot happened. And we're actually just going to go straight to the end. I mean, like, right to the end and talk about it because so much happened. We absolutely have to. And I think that we have to start at the beginning of what I'm going to start calling the twist waterfall because that's what it was. It just kept going. The very beginning of the twist waterfall when Eddie, who I think is still one of my favorite characters in this book, and like I'm glad he got to the end and I still feel that way. Um Revealed what was my favorite twist of all of them, and I called it from pretty far back. Will and Lestara got secretly married. I'm sorry, what now?
No, what I just realized as you were talking, like you were like, "Oh, and the twists and that Eddie revealed." I was like, "Oh, I never really figured out why he kept saying the queen was dead. Like, just that he thinks she's gonna die soon." And it just clicked in my head that he was saying the queen is already dead because it's James's mom. James's
You meant
mom was the queen.
you meant
And
Siobhan, and that's a different twist.
know.
Twist number one, we're sticking with this. Twist number one, Eddie goes and has Will and Lestara get married. Lestara, from what I understood, just did what Lestara does, and she came in. She saw a potential king, and she was like, "I'm gonna get in his bed. I'm doing it." And I'm pretty sure Eddie was like, "You go, girl. You want a condom? I mean, you don't need it, but like, do you need anything other than my support in this venture?" Because amazing, absolutely amazing. And I mean, like, I kept thinking like Will and Lestar were just gonna like kind of fall for each other, and it does seem like Will fell for her, which is like its own ha ha in itself. But yeah, amazing that he was like, oh, I'm gonna have Will and Lestara get married, and then he's gonna have James and Anna get married. Love it, love it, loving it, loving Eddie's plan other than, the whole like starting a war thing. So like as far as Eddie's mastermind plan, like how'd you guys feel about everything Eddie had cooking?
Eddie was cooking great. Like Eddie, if Eddie could have done Eddie, would have been an amazing end to the book. No, no notes on Eddie's plan.
Even like pro war, you're like whatever eggs we need to crack, Eddie, you make those pancakes.
I mean, I feel like he was like, "Oh, Amarin killed the love of my life." So like, no, not great war, but like I see his perspective. I was like, "Oh, like if we have to have war, whatever." They're basically already in a war, so like it's expected at the end of the first book of a duology. As soon as Anna was like, "Oh, Alex is gonna help me go to the ball," like it's so nice how helpful she's being. I was like, "Bruh." And I think I don't even know. It was just like she was like, "Oh, maybe Karis and Laura were wrong. Maybe I can trust her." And like she also kept being like, "Oh, I don't think she's actually a mastermind. Like it doesn't seem like she's doing that much." I was like, "Why are you doing what she wants? Like this isn't gonna go well." And I didn't realize how unwell it was gonna go.
Yeah, in my opinion, that was one of the most beautiful parts of the waterfall. Was like, I knew Will and Lestara had secretly gotten married. Like, they kept dropping hints like, "Oh, Will's, like, bouncing around like he owns the place, and he's, like, not even drunk. He's just, like, high on life." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's because guy's getting laid. He just got married earlier." Like, and Lestar like, I knew that that was happening. I knew that, like, Eddie was trying to get James and Anna together because, like, Eddie's known since the beginning, and Eddie kept being all like, "Don't worry, I got you. You're gonna be real happy when everything," like, I knew where Eddie was going with it. Didn't love the war part, didn't really see that happening. But, like, as it just kept going, and then Alexandra comes out with her mat, I was like, "Girl, I knew I didn't trust you and you made me anxious, but I did not see her plan coming." Even, like, I was in Anna's body as Alex is, like, approaching her, and Anna's like, "This isn't good, and I don't know how," and I was like, "Yes, that's all I know right now too." Like, mind blown. Mind blown, Alex. Amazing.
Yeah, there was no way she was gonna sit and do nothing while her son is married off to Lestara when she hates Cardiff.
But he is married to Lestana and she's not breaking up. Like, he likes her. She did her work. She did what Lestana does best. Well, also because we find out that Lestara married Will before Eddie dies. Which, like, they've had the she's gonna be queen prophecy the whole time. So I was like, and then Eddie's explaining his plan to James, like, "You're gonna be king. Will's never gonna be king. Lestara's never gonna be queen." And in my head, I was just like, "No, why are we doing this?"
I didn't even see it failing, like, specifically in that moment. I was a little bummed because I was like, honestly, at this point, I think Herondale is awful. Like, I don't want Anna to be queen of Herondale. And I kept trying to figure out how we were going to have, like, Will and Lestara be king and queen of Herondale because, like, fuck Herondale. And then have Anna and James be king and queen of Cardiff because, like, Cardiff, I'm not, like, in love with. Like, I need to see Ronan and, like, hang out with Cormac a little more to figure out how they're doing all on their side of the world. I was trying to figure out in that moment, like, "Oh, I guess I can be happy with James and Anna being king and queen of Herondale," and then it made sense when Alex is like, "I'm going to pretend like you tried to murder me." I was like, "Oh, Anna and James are going to be king and queen of Cardiff eventually, probably by the end of the next book. Like, because they're not getting this kingdom now. Like, right? Do both of you or either of you think that too, that that's probably the trajectory that we're going in? Because there was that line from Eddie about, like, oh, Ronan still said that he wants you to be his heir, but, like, I said no. Or, like, I'm going to let him know that you're mine.
I honestly didn't think that deep into it. I came to no conclusions about which country they were running, other than Eddie went off on his thing about how um he wanted Anna to be queen of Ithaca, like per Eddie's plan. Didn't love this part of Eddie's plan either, for being honest. Where he was like, the people of Ithaca don't like Aaron. He has like he's the reason they are currently poor and had to face war and like so much tragedy. And she was the one that stuck around and helps them. So like she will be queen of Ithaca. And I was like, I don't love this plan, but also like can't dispute him that Aaron did all of those things. I don't disagree that it makes more sense for people to like her.
Right, because there are, like, a bunch of seeds of truth in there. Like,
Mhm.
we can see where Eddie got all of that from. It was really, like, the thing that I kept coming back to was, like, Eddie telling James, like, "Oh, Aaron is working with, Amarid and is planning on having Anna marry Carlo." And I feel like that's something that we can we still speculate on it? Like, is it definite that Alex set that up? Because that is kind of what was alluded to at the end, is that Alex and the Queen of Amarid have been working together for a really long time, and that Alex probably forged that whole thing, is what I understood from like the very end. Is that how you guys took it, or do we still have to question what Aaron is doing with Amarid, if anything?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I never really believed the Arn and Amaranth thing, but also I didn't make the connection with Alex.
Because that's like the final twist of the twist waterfall, the twist avalanche, the twist typhoon, whatever your natural disaster of choice is that we learn at the end that CF are the initials for like the
Mhm,
weapons manufacturer, and that we find
mhm,
out that Alexandra and the Queen of Cardiff, Katarina, um,
mhm.
have been working together to sharpen the weapons that then helped kill the Ithacanians in the invasion.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like it's fairly clear that Alexandra like forged, or at least like that the Queen of Cardiff forged documents that were saying that Arin had promised to have Anna marry Carlo, because that seems weird. Like I was trying to come up with a way, like, would Arin have gone to Amarid, like when he found out that the markets were like turning against Ithacana, thinking that Anna like wanted to do right by Ithacana? And I was like, no, because Arin, or at least Laura, would know that Carlo is awful. So there's no way that they would do that. And I don't see a way that Arin would like lie about it to get something from Amarid. So I think it's
I
just
mean,
fake from them to make James mad.
I feel like it could be fake or like Arn could be doing something with the Amaranth, but TBD on what. Like, there's no way. There's a 0% chance that he was agreeing to have Anna marry them. But
It is sowing the seeds against Ithacana.
mhm.
Yeah, like he wanted her back home.
He did. Yeah. Um, so yeah, Eddie's dead. Eddie's super dead. I'm not like super upset about that. Like there's a part of me that's like, R.I.P. I thought he was cool, and I thought that he like had the right idea about most things, but like when it came down to it, was like a little crazy. Um,
Hmm. Did we see his
I
body
did,
though? Is he really dead?
no,
Mm-mm. But he's
D-
definitely dead.
Jamie, are you asking
I just
that
wanna
seriously,
I
or
just wanna toss that,
are you baiting me?
around. Yes.
He was stabbed 47 times, which
Supposedly. Allegedly.
supposedly. It's funny. I did not question for a single second that Eddie was deceased, because I feel like he has to be for the rest of this to be happening. Like
Yeah.
Eddie's not like pounding on the bars in the jail cell, being like, "Let me out." Um, I do think that's something we do have to talk about, because it is not like actually said out loud for sure by the end of this book, is who killed Eddie. I feel
Oh,
like there's an obvious answer.
it's definitely what's his name who we liked and now we don't like. And I blink. Why am I blinking his name right now? Arthur, not
George,
Arthur.
because
George.
we don't like him anymore, and he's dead to us.
This entire section, I think we ended last section being like, "Oh, we like George." Other than like liking Virginia, seems good. This entire section, it kept going downhill. He kept being low key the worst, like how he was hating on like James and Anna, and it was like, okay, maybe he's just protecting his friend, but then he was like threatening Anna, and it was like blah, and then he's covered in blood when Eddie dies. Sucks.
He
It
was
is
kinda
sus.
giving me the same vibes that Virginia was, where, like, they both seemed okay, right? And then as the story progressed, there was something off about them, and I think it was all the times that they were so defensive about William or James and like so confrontational to Anna.
Yeah, I am no longer on the George train. I'm not even gonna call him Georgie anymore, like, he doesn't even deserve that. It's just George, it's plain George. Um, yeah, it was like at first when he was sure about James and Anna's attachment and him saying like, "You need to leave, like, leave her alone," and then, like, trying to blackmail her with what he heard from Aaron, I was like, "Okay, I do understand that he did hear what he heard. Like, we know that that probably almost definitely happened, and he just took it out of context. Is he just being an overprotective friend?" And I have to be honest, I don't think that George killed Eddie. I do not. 47 stab wounds, Elena. Alex would have wanted to do every single one of them. I think George was in the room, but I don't think that Alex would pass up the opportunity to murder the shit out of Eddie after everything that he's done to her.
Was
Um,
Alex already covered in blood? She was, right?
I don't think that it says. I don't think that Anna's like, oh my God, she's covered in blood. Because Anna's very much like, what is she walking toward me to do? We also don't get like a she's definitely still wearing the same dress or oh it's a different dress that's weird why she changed. I just don't see a world in which Alex tells George to
To
kill
stab
Eddie.
him.
Yeah, because I also don't
And
see what would George's motivation be that wasn't connected to Alex, other than like if Eddie Eddie wouldn't have told George that he was gonna like declare that Virginia wasn't his um, like that she wasn't legitimate.
no, but I feel like Alex has to know. Like, and Alex could have told him. And also, like, they alluded to a lot of times that he is also anti Cardiff because of wherever his family lands are. So he probably didn't take it well when Eddie was like, "We're allied with Cardiff now. Yay." Although, but that's not gonna stop because Will is married to him to Lystara.
Yeah. I also don't think that Alex knows about the fact that he was married to Siobhan.
You
Personally, I feel
think?
like she would have. Oh yeah, because I feel like she would have done something already. I feel like if she
I
had known this whole
agree.
time that her kids were not the legitimate ones, she would have murdered other people. Like, I think if anything, the end
Mhm,
of this book proved to everyone that like
mhm.
Alexandra is to be as feared as Laura and Karis told us she was to be. So she would have killed James and or Eddie before now, in my opinion.
Yeah, that seemed like a secret revelation just found out in that moment by Eddie to James.
Because he did like go and get married, quote unquote, to Alex. It's just he said that the vows were fake. And if he was
Right.
like legally married before then like no matter what was said in that place of worship, like it wouldn't have been legitimate. Which I feel like is
It
going to
doesn't.
be no, go yeah, go ahead, Alina.
I was just gonna say it doesn't say she's covered in blood when she sees him in the hallway.
Yeah. So I don't think that I think she would have changed. And maybe it's too obvious because Alex is like the very obvious answer. But I think that she I think that she wouldn't have passed up the opportunity to kill him. And that was like part of the whole plan was like kill him and then frame Anna for it.
Okay, this might be out of like super left field. What if it was Virginia? And that's why Alexander doesn't have blood and Georgie would cover it up and have some blood on him
Like Virginia was so angry at what
about something.
Eddie did that she just killed him. I could see her doing that. That's fair.
Like she doesn't have great impulse control, it seems.
No.
And
And time and time again is like, I would do anything for my brothers and would have seen
Yeah.
it like as a huge slight to Will.
Yeah.
And she Stara.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. She has
That's my new
motive.
guess.
Yeah. And then Alex was like, okay, new plan. We frame Anna for it. Maybe that's why it was 47 times. Maybe Virginia was like, like 12 deep. And then Alex was like, hand me the knife. And they just like both. Um, yeah, cool. So, if you're still here and you haven't read the end of this book, we told you so. There's way too much that happened at the end of this. I am not even sure which parts of it we've already divulged and haven't divulged. Um, Man, yeah, there was a lot. Were there any other parts in there that I'm forgetting?
I think that was a lot of the twist. It could have
The
been so good.
twist,
But at least
the
she has
waterfall
Dippy.
twists. She has Dippy. Thank goodness for Dippy. At first, I was thinking Dippy was like Will's way of possibly trying to get Anna killed when I was doubting him. Um, but Dippy ended up being like the best surprise character in this book that I am so glad that we got. Like, thank goodness for Dippy.
Also, the only Herondalian I currently like.
Yep, yep, yep. And I feel like that's a good segue to talk about another Herondalian.
Is it James and how I really don't see how he's having a redemption arc because
It is, yeah, but I just wanna do we have to say anything else about Dippy before we move to the part of this conversation that I'm dreading?
I just love
There
Dippy
was
so much.
there was a part where like Dippy is running and just like running free, and I'm like, I'm so happy for Dippy.
Living his best life. Will tried to slander him and was like, "Not the fastest," and I was like, "Will, back off of Dippy."
Just because you trained him bad, now he's the fastest. I'm picturing Bullseye from Toy Story every time.
Oh,
I
that's
was not, but
cute.
now I will be. I was picturing a real horse. Oh my word. Okay. Um, Really quick, you know what? Before we talk about James, can
You're
we
just avoiding.
I am.
Wait,
Oh, no,
did
go ahead.
we did we talk about who killed Siobhan? I forgot we talked. We did
Oh,
that because that was a
no.
twist.
No, that was that was a twist.
I guess
I'm
it
looking
was just
back at my
Amarin.
texts with Elena because I was sending her like live reaction because I didn't remember, and that was one of them. And I wrote, "It's Katarina."
That was a
Yeah,
good twist.
I don't think we have
We have not.
Amarin killing her as an option. Because I think we had just decided Amarin didn't kill anyone and that they were just using Amarin as a pin.
I just realized you're probably referring back to your drawing.
Yeah.
Arrows, names. Yeah, no,
We were just taking bets.
we did not call that. And like Elena, you mentioned the line before about the queen being dead. And we probably should have started off with like the whole waterfall of twists begins with the world's weirdest scene where Eddie's like, Anna, my dear, come into the throne room with me. And he like weirdly has her sit on the throne. He insists she sits on the throne, and puts the crown on her and is just like, you will be the best queen. And it, it is sexual. Like Danielle Jensen knew what she was doing, and she paints it in a way that a lot of our Fable members, I think maybe a few of us included, thought that maybe Eddie was saying that he was going to make Anna his queen because he makes a comment about how the queen is already dead. And we later realize that he means Siobhan, the Princess of Cardiff, who is James's mom, um, because he had married her previously, and Alexandra's not the queen. But yeah, a bunch of us kept thinking that maybe he was going to kill Alex and marry Anna himself, which luckily that was not the case. Um,
Luckily? Oh, I guess luckily. I just heard that he was gonna kill Alex, and luckily that wasn't the case. And I was like, "What if that's not that?" I like, my brain skipped over this.
yeah, no, no, like the whole package.
Yeah,
Luckily,
yeah,
that
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
the case.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, we learned that the Queen of Amarid actually killed Siobhan. Um, and then, yeah, we further learned that she was working with Alexandra the whole time. So it all it all makes sense.
Did we ever find out who was trying to kill Anna? Oh, it was definitely Cardiff for real. And then who was killing James? Are we assuming that was Alex to frame Ithacana?
I think that it was probably a joint effort between the Queen of Amarid, Katerina, I believe is her name, and Alex, because getting rid of James was always a-okay with Alex.
Mhm.
And yeah, to frame Ithacana for doing it would have been a bonus. Yeah.
Okay, but also part of the outside of the king being weirdly sus, it also seemed like Alex thought she was dying. Like that weird carriage scene with her and James, where she's like, I know I wasn't really a mother to you, but like just know everything I do is for my kids. I was like, and that was right after Eddie was like, the queen is already dead, and it seemed like he was gonna kill her.
I
It was very
think
confusing.
it could have been more like in the back of her mind, she was thinking, "This whole time I've been trying to have you killed with the Queen of Amarid," would be my guess. Um, yeah, those knitting needles were very pointy in that scene, and I'm surprised that all they did was knit, personally. I don't know if they're
She
gonna come
just
back.
doesn't seem like a knitter to me.
No, no. She seems like she would be a knitter to have the knitting needles on her in times when she needed them. So I guess bonus hobby out of another hobby. Um,
What if that's the murder weapon?
It wasn't a knife. She got stabbed. He got
47 knitting needle stab
R.I.P.
wounds.
Eddie.
R.I.P. Um, yeah, but yeah, before we talk about James, because I'm still going to keep putting that off because I feel like we're just going to scream about that and then be like, and this episode is over. Um, can we just talk a little more about Anna? Like, how are we feeling about how she handled this whole ending? And I'll just start off with her walking into that ballroom and, like, granted, yes, she had asked Alex for her help, but I also feel like she was up against a wall. Eddie was being weird. She was trapped in a room. She was using the tools that she had. That aside, her walking into that ballroom with the dress that Laura sent for her, loved it. Absolute yes. Yeah. Yes, queen.
not super happy with her. You can tell she's related to Arn in these chapters.
Yes.
Because Karis and Laura were like, don't trust Alex. Like, she's really the mastermind. She knows what's going on. And she goes, they misinformed. That's so silly. She doesn't look at how helpful she is now.
Okay, so what do we think Anna should have done instead of enlist Alex's help? Because again, like I agree with you. Like the minute she was like, I'm gonna tell Alex everything and I'm gonna get her help, I was like, this is not good. This is not going to go well. If she has been poisoned or something by Eddie and Eddie is trying to kill her, let it happen. You do not want to go through with trying to be friends with this woman. But like, what other option did she have, really?
I don't know. She didn't have a lot of options. I'm frustrated with her. for
This is like
falling
the
into it.
age-old problem in like Survivor. In every season of Survivor, you've got someone who's like, I'm gonna pull some shit in the background and I'm not gonna tell this person. I'm just gonna assume that they're gonna do the thing that I'm telling them to do. And like sometimes it works, a lot of the times it doesn't. And it's just, Eddie was holding a lot of cards. And I get it. He didn't want Anna to be there because he didn't want the spectacle of the wedding being announced in front of her. He didn't want Alex there for obvious reasons. Can I just point out, because I think it's kind of funny, and I think this could segue us into talking about James, is that do we know whose fault all of this is?
Are you gonna say Eddie's?
No, it's James's fault because he told Alex what was going down in that carriage. And when Eddie pulls him aside and is like, "Don't worry, my boy, this is all going to go off without a hitch. I got you the wife you wanted because you're the only one that knows about it." I was like, no, he is not. No, he's not. Because you know who he told? He told that bitch that you're not actually married to. That's who he told. That's who he told.
Okay, I think it's fine to blame James.
I'm happy to blame James for whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, minus the
Oh,
war, Eddie had a great plan. Eddie had a great plan.
a little
Great.
crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. But like he was really thinking outside of the box and like I think for the most part had like everyone's best interests at heart. And you know what else I love is like
Except Alex
No one cares.
and William.
William would be happy as long as someone's paying for his drinks.
what
He
I love
doesn't
is
want to
that
rule.
do you remember at the beginning of this book when we were like, "Oh, weird. They sent James and not William." And not one of us thought, was someone trying to get a little force proximity going? Because I sure didn't. But you know who did think it? Eddie did.
For all the good it did him, they're both like, "Oh, I can't, like, because of my brother." Like, up until they're like in some random tornado hut. And then literally that was happening. I was like, "Bruh, they're gonna come rescue you. You're ripping things? Like, you don't think that's a little obvious?"
I wasn't upset about the spice scene. I welcomed it
Yeah.
with open arms. But I did have an out of
But
body experience where I was like, there's a roof caved in over. You guys could die at any minute. Die or be found out. And you're just like going at it and you are engaged to his brother.
I just
also none of that happened because James ruined it. So
I forgot about that. Literally the
he
worst.
stopped it. It didn't even get very far.
Like,
Mid act. Mid
the
act.
the
Make
whole
me
time.
yours. You can't, I can't. Oh no. Ah.
Oh God, you're Anna? My brother's betrothed?
And
Oh
that was
yeah.
her. Literally, I was like, first of all, you're in a tornado shelter. Two, you should be more worried about Dippy's safety. Like, why are you thinking about anything but Dippy's safety right now? And three, like, it does not seem like the time. Also, I feel like I just don't sense their chemistry on that level where I was like, this makes sense to me. And then you're like the whole him stopping where he was like, "Oh right, you're Anna." I'm like, how did you not think about it before if that was a real concern?
He couldn't help himself, Elena.
I don't believe that.
Couldn't help himself.
I don't believe that.
Okay, I'm giving James a lot of shade right now. I'm actually glad that you said what you said because I know that the two of you are about to go off on this boy. And I will say right at the beginning, I am ready and willing to play devil's advocate, but you guys go ahead. Who wants to yell at James first?
I just think he's a not compelling main character.
Ah,
It was really towards the end for me.
mm,
I didn't like that change where he, really believed that Anna did these things.
I feel like we need a slight disclaimer. We are going to talk about the extra chapter at the end of the book that's in Bronwyn's POV. It's like it's instrumental to the conversation. So if that is not cool with you, dip out now. Know that we're mostly going to say that James is a piece of shit, and I'm going to try to like defend him a little bit so we can go into book two with some
He's
sort of hope.
grieving. His dad just died.
He had
But
to
yeah,
cock block someone else.
really quickly go read that chapter. Just pause, read that chapter, come back. You need it before you go to the next book. So yes, please continue about why James is a piece of shit.
Oh, I wasn't saying he was a piece. I was trying to get ahead of your devil's advocating for him.
Oh yeah. No, I mean like
Um,
before you guys started pretending to be me while I was doing the disclaimer. I hear you guys because I think what you're saying is that like I think James as a character sort of fell down a little bit at the end. And I don't disagree with you. I do question his
he
motivations.
we just came from one duology where the character is like her over everything, and
Yes.
now we're in a book where he's like, my duty. She's betrothed to my brother who's kind of mean to me, but like I have to help him because I'm the second son and that is my job. Not second son, like not the heir. Um,
Extra son.
and it's just like then he's like, I'm gonna avoid her. It's like so annoying. Like either hang out with her or don't hang out with her. And then he's like, oh, I'm making excuses to go to the jewelry store so I can hang out with her. It's like, bruh, just hang out with her then.
Yeah, it's
She's
not hot.
she's engaged to his brother. He can't.
His brother hates her. His
But
brother's not
still.
into her.
Okay, I just feel like you're being a little unfair to James in those moments. Cause like I believe those moments. I like fully believe the like I'm into her, but I can't be, but I also can't get myself to not be around her. Like I actually really liked how like stupidly into her he was in that like Georgie would be looking at him and be like, dude, you are checking out her ass. And he's like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. Like I loved how hard James tried to do the right thing and how he just couldn't do it so bad that they did it in a collapsed building after a tornado with wolves and dead cows all around them. Like that's how bad he had it for her.
Then why didn't he find her in the ballroom and go, I get to marry you now? Isn't this so exciting?
I think he was probably on his way to figure out how to get her to stop hating him. Um, but then, she killed his dad. Um, and can I just pause there for 1 second? Because something that I did want to say, I wanted to complain a little bit about this part with Anna, and I forgot. Um, when she sees the bird skull in the ballroom and sees bird skull, thinks Cardiff, and thinks, oh my God, they're making deals with Cardiff, and that's what James has been keeping from me the whole time. I didn't buy that for a single second. Like, what red string were you using that you got from point A to point Z so fast and then immediately went to, I hate James? How could he betray me like that? I felt like that was a weak plot point, in my opinion.
I thought it was valid that she was like, I can't believe he didn't tell me this because she like told him everything and now she thinks that he used it against her.
She needed to find out in a different way. I felt like it was
Yeah.
weak. Like,
It was a
Yeah,
very identifiable bird skull.
mm, I was
no,
confused.
it was a very
It just felt like it
identifiable
was
bird
like
skull.
sudden revelation for her. I don't know.
I I totally buy the seeing bird skull and thinking Cardiff. I think I needed it to take it a little longer for her to get a little more proof in order to be like, oh my gosh, that must be what they were doing. Because the minute I saw that bird skull, I was like, you know where I saw that bird skull the last time? It was when Sarah saw it in Lestara's stuff. in the last book. And that means that Lestara was in this room doing what? She was getting married to Will. That's what was happening with that bird skull. Like, no discussions of like fair trade were happening with that bird skull. So even then I was like, you how did you get this like convoluted like idea from this when I know what that bird skull was doing there? Like I felt like it needed to be a little more. But yes, the outcome we all knew was coming. Like Anna feeling betrayed. She told James everything, and he did not tell her everything. Do you guys feel like that was realistic? Like James's reasons for not meeting her halfway and telling her everything on his half?
Yeah, because he still hadn't figured out how to make it work for her and him. Like, I think he had finally come around on trying to help with Akana, but he hadn't, like, come up with the how.
I just feel like their relationship isn't at that level where, and I don't mean to compare, but like as like Karis and Zara, like I would believe that they would tell each other things. Whereas I feel like James and Anna, they just met.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jamie. And that is actually the basis of why I'm not super upset with James. I am upset with him because I'm like a disappointed parent right now. I'm
Yes. Yeah.
disappointed that
Hmm.
there wasn't more thought of like, did she really? Like, there wasn't much of a pause. And I get that he had just gone through a lot. But the thing that I was hoping was that that would be his immediate reaction. And then once he had taken some time to like think through it, that then he would be like, okay, did she though? Like, did she actually? And it's in the Bronwyn chapter that I lost all hope of that. I was like, oh no, boy is tripping on the Kool-Aid. Like he fully believes that Anna killed his dad. But I think what it comes down to is exactly what you said, Jamie. I think that James and Anna have the start of what could be a really beautiful relationship because they do truly love things about each other that are truthful. Like they love like the core essence of who the other person is. And James knows more about Anna, which is why it's disappointing that he's acting this way. But neither of them really know everything about the other person. And I feel like book one was like the spark, and book two is where they're going to actually be like, this is who I am. Love
Do
me or
you do you mean book 2 when he chases her across the continent and then takes her prisoner and then has a multi-day or week trek across the desert to return her and falls in love with her all over again? But, like, can't fall in love with her because his brother said, "You have to bring her back to me," and he said, "Okay, I will," and he feels like he's loyal to his brother?
All right, so we've got a little we've got some PTSD, and we're not going to name the book out loud. But if you've read everything that the book court has read, Elena, no, some
Okay,
people
but
do watch this and can read your lips. We will
but
not
what
name the book.
what Elena said though, I feel like could happen
It could happen.
in the next book.
We have been hurt by another book that had a spookily similar plot development. And I think we're all wondering, are we just seeing similar tropes that could be done in a way that is compelling? Or are we seeing something that is very similar to this other book that we did not enjoy one bit? And I am also worried.
I know I've said this before, and I've, like, then had to take it back, but up until the bonus chapter, I was like, "Don't love what he's doing." I can see how that makes sense because, like, grief, his dad just died. It's a, like, gut reaction. I don't see how I could get to a point where, like, I like them together after the
Mhm.
bonus chapter, which again, have said about other, like, characters in books, I'm sure, where I'm like, "They did this thing, and I don't see a way for them to come back." So, like, maybe he will, but it would take so much for me to be like, "Okay, fine, you're okay now."
Question.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Is there a chance that James is just pretending and he just wants to capture her to save her?
I
I don't think so.
would guess no. And I think it's because we saw an entire book of this boy not being able to hide his emotions almost at all. Every single person knew that he was into Anna. Every
Yeah.
single person, except for Anna and him. Um, I don't think that he's lying. I think that we have to trust that he genuinely wants to find her and kill her.
I think that's like what's so disappointing about his character arc right now.
Yeah.
Know what? Like, I know in book 2 he'll come around and he'll be like, "I'm so sorry, my dad died, like, I was just, like, grieving and I didn't think blah, blah, blah." Whatever. I almost wish book 2 was Anna meets Carlos and he's not actually that bad and she ends up with Carlos and
Even with one
who
testicle,
cares
they find love.
who cares
Um,
about Hirondelle and Cardiff?
I do hear what you're saying, Elena, and I do have, like, some worries in the back of my mind that at the end of the final book, it won't feel, like, super well-deserved. But literally, as you were talking about, like, I don't know how they can come back from this, and, like, I don't think that it'll feel, like, normal, like, I don't think that it'll feel earned. You definitely I won't throw Jamie under the bus. I know you and I were saying those exact same sentences about Laura and Aaron, like,
Mhm.
almost verbatim. I remember us being like, "How will they get back from this?" Like, and honestly, like, this situation that we're seeing with Anna and James is really similar to Laura and Aaron's situation, where Aaron was like, "If I find you, I will kill you. Like, you come back here, you are dead." And Laura had to run from him. So this is interesting for me. Like, I find this very interesting that now Anna is Laura. Like, and granted, Laura did something to deserve those feelings from Aaron. Like, Anna did not for James to feel this way, but Anna's now going to have to walk the walk that Laura did and, like, feel how Laura felt in that
Okay,
situation.
we definitely said that about Laura, but to be fair, I think I would still say, like, I see how the 2 of them are together, and I'm okay like, I do like how they reconciled, and I understand how that worked. I don't necessarily think they should be king and queen of Ithaca.
Mhm.
Like, I do think there's validity in he made bad choices, trusted her, and she should not be queen right now. Like, "Oh, a shark didn't bite her. That means she can be queen." Like, that's really how they got around it. So, like, that feels like a stretch to me still.
I, with all the love in my heart, respectfully disagree.
No.
Because the shark was the excuse for, like, a lot of the people, whereas I feel like Laura, like, really did walk the walk to prove why she cares about Ithacana and, like, can be their queen. I do agree with you that they maybe probably shouldn't be king and queen of Ithacana with everything that's going on, and we're seeing why, because the outside world is about to tear them apart for that. They're about to try to use the people of Ithacana against Laura and Aaron. Like, that's part of the whole plan. So they have set themselves up to have this Achilles heel, basically. Like, their kryptonite is already set and ready to go, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But I think James can make it. I personally think that James can get to a point where we will love him again.
I don't think I loved him to start with. I don't think I've reached a point where I love James. So, like, that's what I'm saying. He has to not only overcome all the nonsense he just did, he also then needs to make me like him to start with.
Jamie, do you
I
feel
liked
similarly?
I liked him with Anna. I feel like she'll have to do something to change his mind, like save his ass or something, once or twice more.
Also,
Um,
just like think of how guilty he's going to feel when he finds out like that it wasn't her. Like that boy is going to grovel. The groveling will never end.
I don't think he's a groveler.
No, but I think he will
Oh, I
be.
hope he.
I think
Yeah.
he'll learn. He's going to learn to grovel.
We'll see. Um, More importantly than any of this James stuff, because honestly, who cares about James? He's the worst anyway. Do you guys think Bronwyn's gonna escape before she gets on that ship? Like, there's no way Bronwyn doesn't escape.
I don't know. I don't know. That ending chapter was hard. That was hard for a lot of reasons. I like lost my hope that James was going to like think through his actions. I got the couple that I wanted out of this book and then immediately lost them. Like they're still okay, but now they're not like physically together. Um Watching Braun like scream after Taryn, knowing that Taryn is about to be brought back into her own personal hell was just like, oh God, my heart. But I don't know. I don't know what Braun is going to do. I mean, they're theoretically just bringing her back to Ithacana. So I personally think she just like goes along with it, gets to Ithacana, and then is like, we need to rally the forces.
Get her sisters. I feel like we still didn't get enough. I want more of the sisters too.
Yeah, like
More sisters.
Jor is primed and ready to take Small Princess and be like,
Hmm.
Laura, Aaron, you go do what you need to do. We're going to send a quick call to Valcata and be like, you both need to put your pants on and get on a ship. I need you up here. Like, we're going
They
to
don't need to
ascend
put
the
their pants
Avengers.
on until after the ship arrives. They're really good at hanging out on a ship.
So true. Do not make the ship take 3 times as long. We know what you did last time. Like, fast ship north. Um, yeah, that being said too just makes me want to point out that I think that the three of us all feel similarly in that we miss Karis. And James will never be Karis. And we just have to understand that James is a different person and he
Worse,
is going to walk a different story with
worse.
the love of his life, Anna. But we're going to love it, I feel.
What?
Danielle L. Jensen has never steered us wrong. No, it'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this ends.
Honestly, I'm okay with the next book if it's just 50 chapters dedicated to Dippy. Like, and then Dippy went to the field.
I'm remembering a camel that I got really attached to in another one of these books. How upset will you be? Because I feel like I loved Dippy, but you were like,
Dippy's the only character in this entire book that I like.
ow, wow. How sad will you be if like chapter 2 of the next book, Anna's just slaps Dippy on the rear and is like, "So long, friend. Take care of yourself," and we never see him again.
I, you guys can tell me what happens in the rest of the book.
Oh, I wish
Beautiful
she needs a
answer.
friend.
Elena or Anna?
Oh, Anna.
Thought you were feeling sad for Elena that she was going to DNF a book if the horse got put out to pasture.
If
Um,
this horse dies,
I do hope that Anna keeps Dippy. I'm just worried about how
Yeah.
Anna is going to keep evading capture with a racehorse.
He's so fast.
He is, but she
She doesn't
eventually
even
needs to get in a
have
boat.
the right gear either, right? Like wasn't she barefoot?
She just stole tack for him, so
Yeah.
that's good.
That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
So
know.
so so good that James taught her how to put it on and how to take care of him.
Yeah, he was like, if you're ever in a tight situation, you'll need to know these things.
The only thing I'll give James in this book is all that time he spent with Dippy.
I just think that you're forgetting key moments like that, like James, like, training Dippy in secret so that Dippy, like, wouldn't hurt Anna, like, him helping her learn to ride, you
That was
know
cute that he bonded with Dippy like that.
Yeah, and him telling her the truth about how ugly her dress was. He was the only person that was honest with her.
That feels like the bare minimum.
He loves her for how brave and strong she is. He never wanted her to conform like everyone else did. I
Again, the
just
bare minimum.
I feel like if you look back, you'll see the nugget that is why they're so great together.
He's just not the type that will say, "I will burn the world for you." At least not yet.
And what's even the point?
I did like how he had the line of like, "I will search the world for you forever until I find you," except it was said with malice. He
And
was
then
like,
I
"I
will
will."
kill you. Subtext.
Yeah, it's like, "I will burn the world for you and then murder you." Yeah, they've got a really long way to go, but one thing that I absolutely love about all of these books so far in this series is that, like, these people are so far from perfect. Like, they all have major character flaws, and it's just, like, the beauty of how they all work together and find the beauty in each other, and I cannot wait to see how James and Anna become better people for themselves and each other in this next book, which isn't even out yet. It comes out in like 2 weeks. So excited. So we're going to start it almost immediately after it's on the shelves. So if you're following along with us, I'm sorry we're making you wait 2 more weeks to read the next book. But if you, I guess, somehow stuck around with this and you haven't read these, now you can go read all of them before the next book comes out and then read the final installment of the Bridge Kingdom along with us. We will be here for The Tempest Blade, which I'm super stoked for. But thank you guys for joining us for The Twisted Throne. We will see you back here for the last book. Bye, guys.